The momentous day in Paris, the famed towers of Notre Dame devastated by fire in 2019, now reopening to the public. And ABC's Marcus Moore has more on the days that many have been waiting for. So many are so excited. Marcus, look at that smile. You're excited too.
That's right. How could you not be excited?
Oh, we're just so excited, but I had to look at the numbers, so let's look quickly.
How could you not be excited? You know, it's hard to believe that so much time has passed since that devastating fire. Of course, everyone remembers watching the flames destroy the centuries-old building and then the shock and sadness that followed. But now, after a painstaking reconstruction project, the famous Notre Dame towers are once again open to the public. This morning, for the first time in nearly 6.5 years.
So 6.5 is like 6 and 6. 6 years, 6 months.
6.5 years, the public can climb into the towers of Notre Dame. The world watched in April of 2019 as the famed cathedral burned, the spire crashing down.
Oh yeah, we remember. We remember even seeing I Pet Goat back in 2012, also exactly depicting on what would happen.
The spire crashing down, collapsing through the roof of the 800-year-old landmark. But Friday, French President Macron climbing to the top of the newly refurbished building.
All right, I've been meaning to do this video for days now. But I'm almost glad I didn't. Macron climbed to the top, and isn't it interesting that the Trumps also climbed the escalator to the top? I'm sure there's a lot more to this.
Climbing to the top of the newly refurbished building to officially open the North and South Towers. Stepping onto that roof and marking the end of the years-long effort to restore Notre Dame.
And they didn't show in that clip, but in another one I've noticed, he goes to touch the arm, oh yes, of those wicked, wicked ones. Why? Because he's connected to them.
The restoration includes an enhanced route for visitors who will now enter through the South Tower and exit through the North. But first, you'll have to make the 45-minute journey to the top, where you can see the spire restoration and get a 360-degree view of Paris.
Okay, first we know there's so much symbolism in that church and the wickedness that goes in there, right? The black and white especially, could be bricks, could be all kinds of things, and especially, yeah, those Crimea. But they're climbing to the top. Interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? They have to climb inside that church. It made me think, 45 minutes to climb. Why 45? It equals 9, absolutely. But it's also the square of Saturn is what I thought of. Each row equals 15, and so 15 plus 15, and 15 equals 45. I'm sure there's so much more to them. All I know is that they are wicked and they worship the cube, right? Just like the others run around the cube. But yeah, 360. Yeah, they have to mention that because, of course, 6 times 6 is 36. They love their numbers.
The first Mass in the reopened cathedral took place in December of 2024. Thousands attended.
Oh yeah, we remember. So many people were there, including presidents, including the Finnish president, Ukraine. I mean, need I say more? I'll leave the link if you're at all interested. I have the older video for that somewhere.
Thousands attended. Ahead of that, National Geographic sharing their rare access behind the scenes as more than 2,000 worked to resurrect the beloved landmark.
And 2,000 people helped rebuild that. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm just thinking that I'm sure is so much meaning behind that. The one that comes to my mind is that it's been 2,000 years since Jesus walked the earth and rose again. So I'm sure they're trying to poke at something along those lines. And they're not going to say it here, but instead of having a turkey or whatever the heck it was before, a chicken, now it's a phoenix. And it's rising, right? That's going to be at the top of everything. Because they twist and turn everything of the Word of God because the devil's a liar. He can't make anything. He copies everything of God.
43,000 square feet of lead was used to repair the destroyed roof. Thousands of statues and decorative features were restored or recreated.
43,000 square feet of lead. Wow. I don't know. It also equals 10 times 13. So there's your kind of like a 113. Is what I thought of. But I'm sure there's so much more to this. I mean, they love their numbers. They love their symbols. Notice there's the 6. I'm sure there's meaning behind the red, which is blood. But there you have it. They have the fallen angels. Maybe that's why it's kind of like hidden up there. I don't know. Share your thoughts. These are just quick thoughts that went through my mind.
And decorative features were restored or recreated. including the 52 famous Chimera statues, which visitors will now be able to see up close when they climb the 424 steps to the newly opened towers.
52 Chimera statues and walking 424 steps. Oh, yeah. Who wants to get close to statues of devils? I mean, honestly, I find that very, very bizarre. I don't understand. It reminded me of, when I looked at the word Crimea, I found this: a fire-breathing she-monster in Greek mythology having a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. That's basically what they are. They're considered goats sometimes, right? They are considered snakes. So, yeah, fits perfectly. Almost looks like King Charles's coat of arms, kind of. But the 424, I don't know. I did try to look real quick, and in the Bible, it actually comes up with oak, and Ella means to live. But yeah, or the G424, it means to go up and ascend. Just a quick look of what I found
when they climbed the 424 steps to the newly opened towers. And you have to be pretty committed to do that. A 45-minute climb up those steps could be a challenge, but certainly the spectacular view makes it all worth it. And another interesting fact here, before the fire, 13 million people visited Notre Dame every single year. That's more than the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre combined. Guys.
Wow. So great to see it back.
But there it was, you saw it, you heard them. 13 million. Oh, yes. They love that 13 because it equals M for masonry. They just love all their numbers, symbols, and more. But what a show. Unbelievable, all the things that are going on. But we know who the enemy is, and they are anyone standing along with Lucifer. And that means all people in clubs. And we know every president, every leader, and unfortunately, many pastors belong to these clubs. So always test everything and everyone. Trust no one except for the word of God. Lean not on your own understanding, because we can't trust anything that we're looking at these days with all the technology and everything. All right, just had to share. That's just a quick take on what I noticed. Share your thoughts. And otherwise, God bless. Have a great day. Till next time.